Welcome to the AskDr.Collins show. I am with Skylar Gano, who is the owner and operator of King's Muay Thai Gym in Stuart. I asked him to be on the show because I wanted to talk about wellness from the exercise standpoint. So we talked about MAT last time on the show. I wanted to talk about fitness from the Muay Thai side, like balance, posture, all big things with Muay Thai. I wanted to talk a little bit about his story and how he got into doing it and why I think and he thinks it's a better exercise than just straight up going to the gym and doing bicep curls and bench press and going to LA Fitness, which is what a lot of people do.
I'm Skylar Gano, and funny story how I got into Muay Thai. I actually got into Muay Thai because of this guy right here. When I was in college, I was around 19, I believe 19 years old, up at the University of Central Florida. I had always wanted to learn how to fight, but I just never had the courage really to join a gym or to search that out. And I had met this guy over here, Dr. Collins, going to UCF, and he kind of introduced me to mixed martial arts. And at the time, nobody knew what it was. It was pre-Ultimate Fighter. It was before the UFC kind of blew up. So we kind of started training together, and as we were training, I started learning boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai. And when I started learning the striking portion of, fighting, MMA and whatnot, I really liked Muay Thai. I liked how it was, good Muay Thai was you were very fluid. The fighters were there was a lot of technique to it. It wasn't just a smash, let me hit something really hard. There was a lot of self-control. So that really got me into Muay Thai. But it took me multiple years of traveling the United States trying to find very good instructors that taught very good Muay Thai. So in a nutshell, that's how I kind of got into Muay Thai, was through learning how to fight.
So from a health and wellness standpoint, why for the average Joe like me, from your perspective, Muay Thai is a good type of gym to join or exercise to do day to day from like a posture, balance, exercise standpoint?
I think what draws people to Muay Thai, and a lot of people that go to my gym, I'd say out of my whole gym, maybe 10% are fighters or amateur fighters, or they compete. 90% of my gym is just people trying to get in shape. They're interested in the art of Muay Thai. They like it, but they're really just trying to get in shape and have fun. And that to me is what Muay Thai is. You're having fun. You're constantly doing something. You're using your whole body instead of just one part of your body. And you're hitting things, you're punching things, you're getting a lot of that stress that you accumulate throughout the day, you're getting all that out. So it's a fun activity to do with a big group of people for the most part. I know that sounds kind of general and plain, but really what it is it's like that same vibe you get from CrossFit, the camaraderie, the family like atmosphere. But you're challenging yourself. You're trying to get better at hitting the Thai pads, or get better at punching and kicking and elbowing and kneeing. And you're not necessarily having to fight people. You're pretty much getting better at Muay Thai yourself.
And I think this is a unique aspect of Muay Thai compared to a lot of other things that I've ever heard of, is always staying in a posture of being balanced. So whether you're kicking, you're kneeing, you're blocking, whatever you're doing, because it's, kicks, knees, elbows, punches, you're always in a stance where you're balanced. And I find that this is carrying over a lot for me into other aspects of life. And then the other big component that you mentioned is stress relief. Man, day to day in here with people that I see, it's like stress. Everybody's got jobs that they're writing a computer, and there's a lot of tension there. And even though you're not a first responder or somebody that you would think of as traditional stress, man, that day-to-day of riding a computer or having somebody piling on the bills or the paperwork and stuff, this really beats people up physically. So for me, I find that going to Muay Thai is such a cool release that I don't get from the gym thing. And there's something about hitting pads or doing some bag work that you just get that stuff off of you. And it's such a nice release that I appreciate, along with the posture and the balance. To me, balance is huge for long-term health with somebody, if they can get in the habit of being aware of their posture, you know, and it's hard to do that unless you're just going to do like posture exercises, which nobody has time for. There's something about being almost like a kid and having that game of, you know, playing with
100%.
pads and stuff to stay balanced that is so attractive and doable. Like
the fun, and that's a big thing I stress a lot, is fun. Or when we're little, we go outside, we play, we run around, we do all that stuff, and then as we get older, we stop doing those things. And then when fitness comes to mind, it's like, okay, I'll get a membership to a Gold's Gym or a LA Fitness, and I'll go in there and I'll scan my card and I'll go wait for someone to get off the bench press, or I'll go do this, I'll go. So you work out for like 45 minutes to an hour, lifting weights here and there, and then you leave. It's not super exciting. That's the difference between a gym like that and my gym, is you walk in there and you're seeing people that you see a lot, so you start building up a sense of family and camaraderie, and you're also learning things that they're challenging, but you can still do them. So even a baby could do Muay Thai. And in Thailand, in fact, the little kids, they start learning Muay Thai at the age of 3 or 4, and they can do it. So that means anybody can do Muay Thai. I don't care if you're 3 years old or you're 80 years old. You can do Muay Thai. Now, you might not be able to do it as effective as somebody else just because you may be limited by certain things, but you can still do most of the techniques in Muay Thai. And that's what I love about it, is it's fun and anybody can do it, but yet at the same time it's challenging. So you're not going to get bored like you would at LA Fitness or Gold's maybe after a few years of lifting weights. Unless you're like a competitive bodybuilder, it can get boring doing a bench press or a leg press or a squat, go to squat rack, or
and a lot of people
all
are
those
intimidated
things.
by going into a gym. They have no idea what to do. They're worried about getting hurt, or maybe they need to get a trainer.
Yeah, I mean, that's there too. That's another cool thing, is you walk through the gym and I have it all taken care of. All you got to do is just listen to me and make sure that you're doing things right, and I'll be around, or somebody else will be around and make sure you're doing them properly. Mm-hmm. And that's it. So you pretty much just walk in and you kind of let go, mm-hmm. and you get a great workout in as you leave.
I think there's a lot of anxiety for people that maybe don't work out a lot with what they should be doing when they go to a gym, because you hear that a lot, like, oh, I need to go to a gym. I need to go to the gym. I don't work out. But there's that wall there of what you're supposed to do when you're there. Maybe you have some chronic pain or stuff you're worried about getting hurt. I try to encourage people to do sport, because there's sort of that, I want to call it like a gravity, that pushback of after that week or two. You see it in January when people have resolutions to lose weight and the gyms are packed. And then people spend the next 6 months paying a monthly membership on, you know, a Gold's Gym thing, and they don't ever go. Because the gravity of like, man, I really don't like going to the gym, walking on the treadmill and doing bench press wears off. Where if you can get in the habit of doing a sport, something that is, and I think this is why CrossFit has been successful. Yeah. Is because there's like a competitive sport.
What's a community? They build it lifting. So they build a community. So you see usually you see the same people every time you go. So you build that sense of family, that camaraderie. So that's one aspect of it. And then there's the competition level inside of the gym. But those places always keep people longer than your LA Fitness or your Gold's or Planet Fitness or whatever, because by nature we're not like secluded people. We don't, like, it's hard for us to just go into a place by ourselves, do it, and then come out. Yep. A lot of times we like interacting with other people for the most part. So when you have a gym that does that, it creates a better workout experience. You know, working out is great, and not to, like, I used to work out by myself a lot, you know, but it's a lot funner when you're working out with a group of people. And then when you combine that with you're learning something that you could use in a situation that could potentially save your life, it is even better. You know, not to knock CrossFit, it's great and all, but you can't say you're going to the parking lot and you're opening your car up and somebody tries to rob you or do something. CrossFit's not going to save your life. You know, maybe running away, but if somebody were to grab you or do something, you could use an effective system like Muay Thai to save your life for the most part.
And I think that's an interesting conversation too, that sort of maybe could be skirted around, but self-defense. So I originally got into all of that martial arts and wrestling and these kind of things because of that. as a young man, I wanted to be able to physically defend myself. And I think it's an important, like, as a human being, you don't ever want to, but you should be capable.
Exactly.
And especially, in my opinion, for women. I feel like the world's very crazy, and I would like, my wife, that's actually how I met Jackie, was at your class.
Yeah.
Or daughters, to be able to just be capable, there's a certain amount of anxiety that I feel like that comes from knowing that you're not able to protect yourself or take care of yourself. A lot of fear that can come out of that, and I think bad situations that can come from that fear.
Exactly, and that's the big thing one of the big things that people get confused with Muay Thai is they think like, oh well, I don't want to fight, or I don't want to do this, and for the most part, like, you don't have to fight. You don't have to go out there and do these things, but it's always good to know that you're capable of defending yourself.
It creates a certain relaxation in an environment.
Exactly, it calms you. Knowing that you can defend yourself in a situation is priceless.
I think of that like when we were kids and you're at the bar.
Exactly.
And there's that guy who's drunk and he's trying to, rooster.
And exactly, and that's why people
Peacock.
That's why you see guys, aggressive people at the bar. For the most part, those people do not know how to fight. And they're doing it as like a posturing, like, hey, I'm gonna scare you to let you know I can't fight, but I really can't. Where the person that's training, it's the exact opposite. We're even keeled. We're very calm. We're relaxed. We know we can handle a situation. We're in more control of that situation than the other person. And that's the big thing that people get mixed up. They think that if I'm going to do Muay Thai, it's going to make me more aggressive, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to pick fights, and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be a more aggressive person. And you're actually going to be a less aggressive person because you're getting all that aggression out in the gym, in a controlled environment where the other guy doesn't. He may go to Gold's Gym and lift a couple weights here and there, and then on the weekends go out and he's super aggressive because he has no outlet for all that pent up aggression he has. Where if he went to like a Muay Thai style gym, or gym where they had heavy bags where he could hit those things, that might get a lot of that stuff out that he has pent up or she has pent up,
And it sounds strange, but almost in a world where everybody was training and physically capable and getting that aggression out, maybe there would be less of the insanity that's going on in the world. The other gem with Muay Thai I find is injury prevention and not having to worry as much about getting hurt in the gym.
Yeah.
So
that was one thing that I liked about Muay Thai too, is because doing all the other arts, for me personally, Muay Thai was something I could do more consistently without getting hurt a lot,
It's so important to have an art, exercise, something that you're doing actively and improving at, that you are not also degrading your body, because that art requires more from your body than it can really handle.
What I like about Muay Thai is and don't get me wrong, you can get injuries in Muay Thai. If you're not doing things correctly, if you kick an elbow with your foot, you're gonna hurt your foot or you're gonna break your foot. If you kick something hard with your shin and your shin's not, you're not kicking pads or kicking the bag consistently, you could hurt your shin. So there's things you gotta watch out in Muay Thai. You can definitely hurt yourself if you're not doing things correctly. I'm sure that's like that in CrossFit and Jiu-Jitsu. But long term, I feel like there's less wear and tear on the body than in those other sports. And that's why I like Muay Thai, is because I can consistently train Muay Thai and not worry about getting hurt seriously.
So from like a physical, what your body goes through in a Muay Thai class, I think this is an important, because you can sort of talk about Muay Thai
all day, yeah.
Right, so most of the work is pad work, bag work, and then calisthenic type movements, push-ups, sit-ups, running,
jumping rope,
like
pull-ups, all those things.
It's very body weight oriented, and then skill. So where and your person who trains Muay Thai on a consistent basis will have a much different looking body than somebody who does like CrossFit. So the demands are very much different. If you're looking to be, that warrior, jacked from top to bottom, that's your CrossFitter. Yeah. The average Muay Thai fighter, you wouldn't even notice. They just look like an average person that's in shape.
Yeah, you're going to be lean, you're going to be strong, you're going to look like a Thai fighter. I always tell people, like, look at the fighters in Thailand. You're going to look like similar to that if you do it consistently all the time.
You're not jacked and huge.
You're not going to be huge and jacked.
But you're balanced. You have incredible poise in your posture and how you carry yourself. You're not sort of always off balance in what you're doing. You have good cardio. If you needed to run or do something, you are a healthy, functional person, even though you're not, able to clean.
Yeah, 300 pounds or 200
every
pounds or something like that. And like I said, everybody has their different goals.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, like my goal is to be healthy and to have fun. I really think there's a big correlation. If you spend a lot of your life having fun, you're going to have a good how would I say this? You're gonna have a good outlook and attitude about life if you're doing things that are fun and not doing things I gotta go do this. If you're like, hey, I'm gonna go learn a new move today, or I'm gonna go play spar with my buddies, or I'm gonna go do this, and it's a fun experience, then it's going to trickle down to other parts of your life. You're going to be, the next day when you go to work, you're going to be in a better mood, or you're going to be in a better mood with your wife and kids, or your husband or friend, whatever the case may be. It definitely helps. It goes beyond just going out there and being physically fit and doing something that's going to make you healthier. It makes you mentally healthier, spiritually healthier. There's a lot of benefits that you get from doing something like Muay Thai.
Mm-hmm. What would you say to someone who's maybe intimidated on starting a class? Because it sounds like...
Very aggressive, yes.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest hurdle I deal with a lot of people coming into the gym is they want to do it, but they're very intimidated. They're very intimidated by the ring and the bags and the people that are already shredded and they look like TIE fighters, and that's very intimidating. And what I tell them is, and I can only speak for my gym, is our gym is a family type gym. So you're gonna have guys that are amateur fighters that are looking to be professional fighters, and you're gonna have people that are first responders, firefighters, police officers. They're just training for self-defense or to stay in shape. You're gonna have moms that are trying to stay in shape. You're gonna have teenagers, college students, pretty much all walks of life doing Muay Thai to just better their life. So not everybody's going in there to try to fight. And I try to reiterate that to people, or try to explain that clearly to them, that this isn't a blood, sweat, and tears fighter gym where you go in there and it's just like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. You're gonna come out and you're gonna feel like you almost died. You're gonna learn Muay Thai in a controlled atmosphere, where as long as you listen to what I'm telling you, you're not going to get hurt.
Yep. And the play sparring, I think, is a big part too. Nobody's hard sparring.
No.
You're tapping.
Rarely, in the sparring thing, at least in our gym, we rarely hard spar, which, by the way, sparring is like simulated fighting. What you're doing is you're doing the techniques properly, but you're doing it in in a fun, playful manner, so that you're not smashing somebody's head in. You're controlling everything you throw out there.
Which is the opposite of every type of sparring that I've had ever seen otherwise.
Most gyms don't do it that way because it's very...
Boxing, jiu-jitsu, it's everybody, you're worried you're going to get your head ripped off.
Exactly. Our gym, I'm very strict on the way we do things so that everybody stays safe. We learn, we get better at fighting, we can do it the next day. If we hard spar every day, I will not have anybody left because everybody will be injured. Your brain, and that's one thing I tell people, your brain is something that doesn't regenerate. There's so many negative effects that come with hurting your head, and that's another big thing that people, when they sign up, they don't want that. And I tell people all the time, listen, play sparring is an optional class. It is not a class that everybody has to take. You could walk through that gym and not spar one day of your life and train at King's Muay Thai for years, and that's fine. That's how I run my gym, but I like that option because I understand that getting hit in the head is not good for people, to do over time. But you should not let that keep you from training Muay Thai altogether. If you want to hit the bag, hit the pads, learn defensive skills, learn offensive skills, you can do that. You don't have to spar. You don't have to play spar. So
it's a good segue for why you get your neck checked.
Yeah, so I get my neck checked to stay in alignment. One big thing with
what do you notice when you're out?
My lower back hurts. That's a big thing. I notice my lower back hurts because my neck, if I do, so when I train Muay Thai with my fighters, we do clinching. And that's usually not what most of the people do at my gym because there is a lot of pulling on the neck. You grapple on the neck. And I understand that, you know, can hurt a lot of people that are just trying to learn how to, just trying to stay in shape. So that's not a class that's offered to everybody. It's just for people that are learning how to fight. But it can also get your neck stronger. It can get your neck stronger if you're doing it right. Yep. So you are right on that, and that maybe I might push that more on people that are a little bit hesitant about doing stuff like that. But I notice that my neck will ache sometimes, but when I feel out is when my lower back hurts. Yep. You know, that's the big key, you know, factor in like, hey, I think I'm out.
So I don't have any more questions for you. If you guys are interested in doing Muay Thai or just want to check it out, he's on Instagram at King's Muay Thai Gym. He is on, do you do stuff on YouTube?
I do have a YouTube account.
YouTube account, Facebook as well. If you just want to see what Muay Thai is and it's sort of intimidating and you're afraid and you don't know what to do, just look at some of his videos. He puts stuff up like every day. If people are local in Stuart and they're interested in getting a hold of you, what's the best way?
The best way is to go to kingsmuaythaigym.com. The front page will have a little message that says if you're interested in wanting to take a free class with no strings attached, just click on the button, fill out the information below, and then I will contact you and we'll set up a time for when you can come and try out the class.
So if you guys are also looking for kids classes, I know a lot of parents want their kids to be able to do something like this too.
We do kids classes
kid-friendly environment
on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. And you can also sign your kid up, have him or her try it out for free. No strings attached. If they like it, then they can become part of the program.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you guys for watching the Ask Dr. Collins show. I'll see you in a month.